encourager. My whole idea is to use the medium of learning to play the piano to hopefully encourage each other, you and I, to embark on that learning journey that we've been putting off for so long. I'm hoping that through my journey of learning to play the piano, the keyboard here, that we can truly encourage each other. I'd be your support and you'd be my support, and we both hold each other accountable. Okay? So it's never too late. Make that start today. Go do whatever you need to do. Life is too short. So in my last video, I spoke about finding a music teacher and going for my first lesson. So let me tell you about my first lesson. I arrived and my teacher sat me down and said, let's get the ground rules in. This is going to take as long as I wanted to take in terms of learning, or as short as I wanted to take. It depends on my effort, my investment in this really. It's all dependent on me, how much time I want to devote to it. His recommendation was that I do 10 to 15 minutes a day, 5 days a week, at least as a minimum, 10 to 15 minutes a day. And consistency is the key. Practice, practice, and practice. So in my very first lesson though, it was really, what am I going to learn? I was jumping at the bits. And he said, we're not going to do much playing of the piano today. He wanted to lay the ground rules, the fundamentals. So it's about consistency. But he also said to me, I need to be patient. Really need to be patient, because this is going to take some time getting used to these new skills. The brain is absorbing new information. It needs to process that information and then put it into practice. So developing these new skills is going to take a bit of time, and I should be patient with myself. I should pat myself on the back for every little small step I take. It's about self-love and self-encouragement as well, but to take my time and not get frustrated. He gave me the context of a child, learning to read a book. What do they have to do first? They have to learn the alphabet, A, B, C. You have to learn the alphabets first. And at some point, they need to start putting those letters together to form words. Can you imagine? They have to B-A-T, bat. They have to put those words together, those letters together to form words, and that takes time. And slowly they get the first book. It could be a book of pictures of animals, and they form those letters together and form those words. And eventually, once they get comfortable with those little words, they start advancing to bigger words and bigger books. And eventually, the word starts improving. They start recognizing words. Their vocabulary starts improving, and eventually they can read the whole book. And ultimately, that is what this is all about, trying to play the piano. You know, I would be learning the basics, starting with the alphabet and the piano, similar sort of thing, putting words together, putting those alphabets together in the piano language, as it were, and then being able to read music and then be able to play. So that was my first encounter with him. He asked about my motivations. He asked about where do I see this journey? How do I see this journey progressing? And we talked about just our families. It was really, really, really good, interesting chat, just to know a little bit about me. And I'm glad that we did that, basically. And now, let me talk a little bit about what I actually learned, and give you the context. I'm completely green here. I've never played the piano keyboard before, so I'm starting from zero, ground zero. But like I said in my previous video, having a teacher is a complete game changer for me. There's so many basic things that I didn't realize. And I'll show you this on this keyboard. I'll show you this in a minute. The very first thing he told me was that the keyboard is made of 3 black bars, vertical bars, followed by 2 black bars. That pattern repeats throughout the keyboard. Have a look if you've got a keyboard, if you've got a piano, have a look at it in a minute. When you look at it, you see there are 3 black bars followed by 2 black bars, vertical bars, and that follows, the pattern follows throughout the keyboard. He also said to me, if I sit straight like this, and I position myself right in the middle, the first of the 2 black bars, putting my hand there, that is the middle C. So there's a C major scale, and that's where I need to be. That's got to be my starting point. And I'll show you that in a minute. The most important thing as well, which I couldn't get from a book, which he told me, and this is why I really needed to be with somebody, is that music has a beat. The piano has a beat. The usual beats are 4 beats in a bar, or you could have 2 beats in a bar, or you can have 1 beat in a bar. But he's named this. I tried to get that from a book, but I couldn't understand it. And a beat is just, it's how long you hold the key down for. When you're playing it, how long you hold the note for. You can hold it for 4 beats, you can hold it for 2 beats, you can hold it for 1 beat. Those are the usual ones anyway. And like I said, this was lifting the scales off my eyes. It was completely an eye opener for me. So that was my first lesson. Not much playing of the piano, more getting an understanding of what the basics are, and then telling me that I needed to be patient with myself and also to practice consistently. And I'll show you what the piano looks like, and I'll tell you where I'll find my major C, my C, okay? So as I was saying, you can see the keyboard, right? And you can see 2 vertical bars, followed by 3 vertical bars. And you can see that pattern repeat itself. So 2 vertical, followed by 3 vertical, 2 and 3, 2 and 3. And that goes throughout the keyboard. Yeah, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2. And then in the middle is just C. And that's where you position your hand. This is the extent I got to in my first lesson. And that's my anchor. Always find my middle C. That's my middle C. And you place your thumb there. That's why you play the middle C with. The other thing you did tell me, by the way, is that music also has alphabets. But I'll tell you about that in the next lesson. Okay? So until then, be blessed, be patient with yourself, be encouraged,